What is going on? Locks DFS. This is the first installment that I'm bringing y'all of. Actually, there's no catchy name for this. It's just sort of my sports bets picks that I like. And this is going to be a Thursday night football edition. Because a big reason of that is I like to bet NFL props a lot. And a lot of these props for the Sunday night games don't come out until like Saturday or even Sunday morning for some of them. But a lot of these props for the Thursday night football game, as you can see, we're recording on Thursday. They're already out. So, yeah, I'm adding Narang. I'm with Locks DFS. I do the sports bets over there. So we offer a sports bets pass, which is $200 for the year, and it's $75 for a month. It's super good value. It comes with 3 bets a day, minimum 3 bets a day, every single day. So if you get it for a year, you're paying $200. You're getting over 1,000 bets. Seems like pretty good value. We're winning there over, I believe, a 65% rate. We're cashing. And all the bets I'm sending out to y'all, they're all like minus 130 at the most. You know, I'll try and keep it. I try and keep it pretty close since I'm not tracking units or anything. I try and keep it minus 130 and down for y'all. And there's a ton of value in those bets, as y'all will see as I break it down today. So we're on 5 dimes right now. A lot of you guys have asked me, where do I bet? Well, until sports betting becomes illegal in New York, which is where I live, as you can tell by the fact that I'm recording at my desk, which is also in my bedroom. So welcome to New York City. But yeah, so until sports betting becomes illegal in New York, I will be betting on 5 dimes. I recommend other people bet on 5 dimes as well. I mean, I've had great experiences with it. We're not sponsored by them or anything, but I've had good experiences with them. Better than I've had with Bovada, and I find that 5 dimes gives you better odds in general than a lot of the market I've seen. But with that being said, let's get into it. So right now, I'm not going to break down, because this video doubles as sort of an introductory to betting video as well. For a lot of people who've asked me to make a video, hey, can you make a video breaking down sports betting? Yes, I can, and I'm going to right now. But I'm not going to break down all these little individual bet the board straight parlay. I think you're best just tossing this into a Google search. Learn if you don't know what these mean, toss it into a Google search. It's super easy to learn. And then you can come back, you can pause this video, Google these, come back, and then we can break it down. But for the sake of this, I'm just going to go to parlay because we can actually click on multiple things so I can open it up. I'm not going to bet anything right now, but I'll probably be placing these bets after I get off of this video. So NFL props, parlay, continue. And now these are all the NFL bets up here, and then we get into the props down here. As you can see, there's only Thursday night football props up right now. There are no Sunday night football props up, which is why this will be a Thursday night football edition of Sports Bets with Addy. So let's talk about the game. We got the Vikings at the Rams. I feel like we talked about this a few times because we mentioned it on our podcast, which if y'all haven't checked out, please go check out. We mentioned it on our Thursday night preview with me, Christian, and Taylor, which if y'all haven't checked out, please do check out. We got all this content for you guys. There's no reason not to make a fire Thursday night football team, you know. But as we can see, this game currently we got the Rams minus 310. They're 7.5 point favorites. The over under this game is set at 48.5. Which seems about right. But I think I'm leaning on the over on this game, and that's going to be the start of our sports bets. And the reason being for that, I mean, here we'll go over to Fantasy Labs, refresh the page. We can see this opened at a 48 over under. 61% of bets are on the over, and it's jumped from 48 to 48.5. At the time of recording our Thursday night preview with me, Christian, and Taylor, this was at 50, I believe. So it's been bet down a little bit, which is an interesting thing to note for sure. But I think I'm still interested in this over, and I could see it going back up once we get official news about Marcus Peters being out. And Mark Barron as well is also considered doubtful. So maybe once he's officially ruled out with the inactives, we'll see this get bet up a bit. But I do like the over in this game. I think we're facing two fairly good defenses on paper as far as when you read their names, but the Rams are banged up, man. No Marcus Peters, no Aqib Talib, no Mark Barron. And the most interesting thing about the Rams is the fact that they're sort of like they're one of those teams that they can do both. You know, they can rush the passer and they can cover wide receivers. You know, a lot of times you'll see like a team that's sort of dependent on one or the other, and the other one looks better because one is good. Like, you got really good coverage, so it leaves a lot of time for your rushers to get to the QB and makes your pass rushers look good. Or sometimes you got really good pass rushers, they get to the QB so fast the QB can't even get a throw off, and it makes your secondary look better. With the Rams, that's not really the case because they have Aaron Donald and Ndamukong Suh and other dogs rushing the passer. And then they got Marcus Peters and Aqib Talib in coverage. So they can do both, and they can hurt you both ways, except right now. Right now, with no Marcus Peters and no Aqib Talib, that kind of takes away their back end. And then the interesting note about Wade Phillips' pass rush, they rank 31st in sacks and 29th in QB hits. They're not getting a ton of pressure. This Minnesota offensive line is an offensive line you can whip around a little bit. We saw the Bills whip around the offensive line last week onto a route of the Vikings that no one saw coming, but we saw Vikings their left tackle Riley Reif, he got whipped. We saw Rashad Hill, he's injured coming into this game. He's their right tackle, and Riley Reif as well. So their offensive line is not looking good at the moment, but this pressure from the Rams is also looking almost as non-existent, and that pass coverage is not going to be nearly as tight as it usually is. So I'm pretty high on the Vikings putting up some points. I think they know that they need to win this game. Look, the Vikings were a lot of teams' NFC Super Bowl team. I mean, they're a good team. They got so far with Case Keenum, and now they added Kirk Cousins. They didn't really lose anything. They're getting back Dalvin Cook. Look, a lot of teams picked these guys to go to the Super Bowl in the NFC. And after losing to Minnesota, after losing to the Buffalo Bills, I think they need to win this game. They can't afford to go 1-2-1 to start the season. So I think we're going to see a motivated Vikings team come out here, really try and play to their strength, which is the pass game. Just so happens to be the weakness in this specific game for the Rams. And I think we see a lot of pass attempts from Kirk Cousins, and I think we hit the over in this game. Obviously, the other side of this, we got the Rams, who play at one of the league's fastest pace, if not the fastest pace. The Vikings are also injured on defense. There is no Everson Griffin. He's their top pass rusher. He's not playing. Their cornerback Trey Waynes couldn't finish the game. And Jared Goff, Todd Gurley, and this Rams offense is a beast. And they're just it's a freakish offense that moves so efficiently. It's so talented. They do so many different things, except they never take their three wide receivers off the field. They all play 97% of the time, and they just run up the score on people. So I think that's something we're going to see again. I do think we see the Rams win this game. I think there's a good case to be made about their Vikings plus 7.5. If you could convince me, I'm not going to convince you of all that, but I'm going to convince y'all of the over in this game, because I do think this game will go ahead and hit the over. And then, so that'll go ahead and be the first bet, over 48.5 at -110. I'm going to give y'all a couple more. Another one is we're going to come down to the props here, and it kind of ties into me liking the over. And I mentioned it here, but it's right. I'll keep it at the top. Boom. Right here. The Kirk Cousins passing yards. So you can like either one of these. I think both of them are super valid. Passing attempts over 37.5. I think Kirk Cousins is going to be passing a lot in this game. I think they're going to be trailing. And I think that they know that their best chance to win is with the ball in Kirk Cousins' hand, and more importantly, with the ball in Adam Thielen, hopefully, and Stephon Diggs and Kyle Rudolph and all of their hands. So I think they know that. I think the coaching staff knows that. So I think they're going to let Kirk Cousins kind of air it out. And if the Rams jump out to a lead, they're definitely going to air it out. We saw obviously this game script was horrible for the Viking standpoint, but for the passing game standpoint, we saw what it means, 55 pass attempts. For those of y'all who can't see the video, 55 pass attempts for Kirk Cousins last week versus Buffalo in negative game script. In fairly neutral game script, 48 pass attempts versus Green Bay. And in positive game script, 36 pass attempts. So they like to throw the ball. I mean, what was it right here? 37.5, I believe. And the lowest he's thrown in the game is 36, and that was in positive game script. So this kind of feels like a really easy bet to me. This one, you got it at minus 130, but all for the same reasons. I think this Vikings passing game will have more success than anyone thought going into this, obviously because the cornerbacks are out, and such good cornerbacks. I mean, Aqib Talib and Marcus Peters are both out. They're starting Sam Shields and some other guy who I forgot, but he's not that good. But yeah, Kirk Cousins passing yards over 261.5. I like that as well. I think we see Kirk go over 300 yards passing. And if you saw our Thursday night preview again with me, Christian, and Taylor, I did mention that the value on Kirk Cousins in the showdown slate, which I can honestly just pull up for you guys, is pretty remarkable. The fact that you have a extremely talented QB at 9K. I mean, he's priced here with Brandon Cooks, and I'm taking Kirk Cousins over Brandon Cooks all day. So I really like the value on Kirk Cousins, and I like the value on Kirk Cousins related prop bets. So definitely check those out. We'll kind of group that into one, even though I kind of like both of these, because there's one more prop bet I want to talk about with you guys, and that is down here. It's always nice to have a prop bet with the best player in the game, and that is Mr. Todd Gurley. And we're going to go ahead and do Todd Gurley's receiving yards right here. So Todd Gurley receiving yards over 38.5. I just think this is too low of a line. Part of my job as being part of Locks and doing their sports bets and doing our sports bets, I guess, is finding value in lines. And so I'm presenting you guys 3 that I found. I'm going to give my members obviously more than this. And I'm going to give them some of my even more favorite bets as the weeks go on and stuff. Everything is for the members. But right here we got Todd Gurley with receiving yards over 38.5 at minus 115. Seems like a fairly easy bet to me. I have ESPN pulled up right now. I have Todd Gurley's 2017 stats pulled up as we speak. This guy has 788 receiving yards, which if we divide that by 16 is about 50 yards a game. And this guy played only 15 games, so you could even bump that up a little bit. So this guy last year, he averaged over 50 yards a game receiving, and this line is set at 38.5. I mean, if we just go pull up, Todd Gurley's like, I mentioned it on the pod, Todd Gurley basically starts every game with 4 free points, 40 receiving yards. And he also throws in like 3 catches. So this dude basically starts with like 7 points. But anyways, I mean, we saw this game. Not really great game script. They blew him out 33-10, but we still saw him put up 39 yards receiving, which would be enough to hit the prop, 5 targets. This game with just amazing game script in their favor. Obviously, they're up 34-0. Todd Gurley honestly like faked a cramp, and he was out for the fourth quarter. So, and he still put up 31 yards receiving on 3 targets. And this honestly might be the most telling because of how bad the game script was for him to put up receiving yards, and he still only missed the prop bet, what it is right now, by like 8. And then in this one, which was still a negative game script for him in the sense that he's not going to be receiving. I mean, they were leading most of this game. He still got 6 targets, and he put up more in the range of what I think he's usually going to do, 51 yards receiving. Just sort of feels like a pretty easy bet. I will tell y'all that the Vikings defense, their run defense itself has been good, and their pass defense versus running backs have been good. I think they've held. I've read it. I think it's Silva's matchup column. They've held pass catching running backs to like the 4th fewest catches or something. So it's definitely a worrisome scenario. But I mean, Todd Gurley's not a pass catching running back. He's a pass catching god. So. I think Todd Gurley kind of just sets the bar here, and whatever the Vikings do, they're not going to stop him. They're going to try and limit him, but I think he still goes over 38.5 yards receiving. And here we have Todd Gurley's pass receptions over 3.5, and the overs at minus 175. So Vegas itself thinks he catches over 3.5 balls, over 4 balls. If he catches over 4 balls, he's probably going over 38.5 yards. So. Those are 3 bets I really like. I'm going to go ahead and tick them all for you. I like Todd Gurley receiving yards over 38.5. I like Kirk Cousins pass attempts over, where is it at? Kirk Cousins passing attempts over 37.5. I want to sort of pair that with Kirk Cousins passing yards. I like both of these. And then we can scroll up, and I also just straight up like the over in this game. But yeah, that's everything. LocksDFS.com. If y'all want to join the team, we got all our passes for sale there. We just dropped our NFL pass from $200 to $150. That comes with the entire season plus playoffs. And it comes with, it comes with our expertise, our lineups, everything that we give y'all for free. A lot changes on Sunday, and so even though we're going to try and do like live streams and stuff for y'all Sunday, a lot changes process-wise Sunday. So it's really nice to get our lineups and at least just see what we're playing. I mean, use our content, use our lineups, kind of use it all together, You see our content, you see our teams, you maybe through our content, you realize, hey, these guys are pretty high on this player, but I don't see him in their lineup. Maybe that's a process fault of our own. Maybe you recognize that by listening to all our content, and you can fit that player in, and you bank a GPP. I mean, you don't know. So it's nice to look at our lineups as well. So definitely give those a look if y'all haven't. If you're just watching this content, enjoy it. I hope y'all enjoy it. But definitely check us out if you get a chance or if you want to. It's at locksdfs.com. You can reach me at reallyaddy on Twitter. You can reach my two homies, my two business partners, at By Hardy and at Taylor Stuber, and the company is at Locks DFS. So again, thanks y'all for listening, and peace.